very beautiful. It is springtime. We just got our winter. And yesterday, to our surprise, we got this This is my backyard. We have 3 to 6 inches of snow. Can you hear me now, or can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, great.
Please carry on.
Usually, our weather is nowadays anywhere from 3 degrees to about 15 degrees centigrade. I work in this hospital as a physicist, and I'm involved in treating cancer patients with the radiation. That is briefly about my background. Now, you may ask me, why did I choose the topic, why Meher Baba? And I got to tell you a small story, what made me to create this story, because that's very dear to me. Last month, we had Baba's birthday, and Meher Charan, by the way, Charan, Mr. Brother Charan sang very well. I enjoyed the song very well. And we also have Brother Meher Charan here in Peoria. And he called us all for Baba's birthday, in the evening. And my day was very busy schedule. When I was driving, I heard a voice. It is at afternoon. The party was at 6 o'clock. And I heard a voice around 1 o'clock that you have to create a PowerPoint presentation to talk about Meher Baba. And this voice was certainly, other than my own thought, the reason was I responded saying, it's not possible for me. I'm so busy right now. I have to go to this place and I'm so busy there. And I don't even know a topic. What can I talk about Meher Baba and love? Those are the only 2 words I know. And then I closed my thought and I reached my other place and I started working. And my work finished a little early. So, and then what I did was, without my own effort, I opened the PowerPoint presentation. As soon as I opened my PowerPoint presentation, I got the thought again, talking, why Meher Baba? So I entered why Meher Baba. And then one thought after the other thoughts came. Within 20 minutes, I prepared these slides. And it was like I was acting like a secretary. Somebody was dictating, and I was creating here. And after finishing the slides, and then I had to go to the other work and then go home and pick up my wife and daughter to go to the party at 6 o'clock. That's what I was in a hurry. And this thought lingering in me, what is this voice? Is this Baba talking to me? Yeah, it is Baba, because Baba is the one who is talking inside. And why did he made me create this? Oh, just to have little, instead of having prayers and songs and then eating food, and then we'll be talking about politics or whatever and stuff, that Baba wants all of us to spend time with in his thoughts. And we went there, we had prayers, we had arti, we had some songs, and then we had food. The food was good, and then we all went to this, this is in Meher Charan's house. While we were going to the other room to give this presentation, I told them, come on over. I prepared some presentation. And then Charan's wife, Dr. Savita, said, oh, by the way, my cousin came into town and I called them for dinner. They are not Baba lovers, but they'll just have food. And we all said, no, that's fine, no problem. We'll have our own presentation and let them eat. And before I started this, this gentleman came and sat there. And he asked me, I told him, hello, sir, my name is Ravi. And everybody said our names. And we are all Meher Baba lovers. And today we are celebrating Baba's birthday. And I prepared this presentation. So If you have patience, please stay. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And then I started showing the slides, and he heard me very attentively and very with all this surprise and all these things. And then I thought, oh, okay, this is the intention of Baba who made me. And see, Baba selects his own lovers. We're all very, very fortunate to be Baba lovers in this time when his advent is very active. And sometimes, very often, we think, oh, we are Baba lovers, with proudness we say. But he gives us humility. Hey, you did not become Baba lover. I am the one who chose you. That is how it is. This slide presentation is very dear to me. And if you find any mistakes, that's me who is doing. If everything is okay, that's Baba who is doing. Let me go to the next slide. Now, I have my mischievous mind, and I asked Baba, why Meher Baba? Why not I pray to my most favorite form of God, or Buddha, or Rama, Krishna, or Christ? And then the answer came, the intention that matters. That we are praying to any form of the God, the intention that we are praying to God, that matters the most. And all these forms are purity in nature. They are perfect human beings. They don't have any tendencies. They don't have any character. They don't have any weaknesses except for divine ones. They have yoga sanskaras. And most importantly, just like how we have this greed, anger, all these weaknesses, whereas they don't have all these weaknesses. And they identify their body, they identify their soul, their mind, everything with the divinity, that is the universal mind. And the only difference between Meher Baba and all these other personalities are time, the aspect of time. And Krishna came 1,000 years ago, and Buddha came 300 years ago, BC. Rama much more older than that, Christ 2,000 years ago. That time is the only one that is dominant in the realm of our Maya. And Baba, Meher Baba, is God. He said he is God, and he is a pure form of human being. He said he is the present avatar of this time. We only can see the Meher Baba body. We cannot see that he is God. We just believe it. Baba's Mandali, Baba Kalchari, used to come to Chicago every year for many, many years in the past before he died. 1 year or 1 or 2 years before he passed on. And we used to go, when we used to associate with him, very few people, and he used to mingle with us very closely. And every time he came to Chicago, he would not forget to say on 30th January 1969, in the night, he was working as a watchman. Baba called him at 3 different times. He called him once and told him, this is not the real body. I'm just wearing a coat. Baba Kalchari said, yes, Baba. Second time again he called and he said, this is not my real body. This is just a coat I'm wearing. Like this, 3 times he said. And Baba Kalchari used to mention that every time to us. And that kind of embedded in us, that made us feel, okay, Baba is God. But as it is, we do not know whether he is God or not, but we see him as a human being. Next, the question came, then he is perfect and he is pure human, then who am I? Right? We have all these questions. We are just, we have a body, human body, and we have all these parts, nose, ear, fingers, and all these things. And along with this, internally, we have internal parts like brain, heart, kidneys, stomach, liver, all these things. But as it is, the body is an inert body. It doesn't have any sensation at all. If somebody is in deep sleep, if you pinch him, you won't know anything. Or if somebody is in coma, or if somebody is going to surgery and they gave him anesthesia, if you pinch him, if you cut him open, nothing happens to him. So body as it is just inert material. But what makes the system go well is this. We have the subtle body, we have the energy body, we have the energy body that makes all the energy going, and we have a mental body. And the mental body can be divided into emotional body and intellectual body. The reason I'm saying all these points is in our spiritual progress, it is very important to know who we are, what kind of a character we have. Then only we can see what Baba is saying and how do we change our habits, past habits. We are used to certain routine way. We are used to showing this anger. We are used to showing this greed. If we observe that, if we understand ourselves completely, then we can follow what our Baba says. And it's a matter of practice. Okay, I have anger. I'm exhibiting anger. That seems to be the problem for my loving Baba. I want to love Baba more. So I have to control my anger. That is how we can process our process to improve spiritually. Now, how do I compare myself with the avatar? Meher Baba experiences human being state. We are also experiencing human being state. He has all human qualities that he is able to use to the maximum. He has got patience, tolerance, ability to withstand extreme situations. He has done a lot of work for the universe, and he had to go through extreme pain and extreme lot of suffering. And he had that body that he is able to withstand. We have the qualities, but we are very much limited. We cannot withstand more than what we have the ability to withstand. Either you take patience or anger. You take anger, you can say, I don't have anger, I'm controlling the anger. If somebody is going on irritating us, at some point, we lose our patience. That's what we are. And the main point is Meher Baba experiences God state as well as the human being state simultaneously. That is the avatar. Whereas we have God in our heart, but we identify with the body, just body only. We think this is the body. Because of this limitation, we do not have the experience of God state. Our journey is to travel from I am this body, I am this mind, I am this system to I am that infinite self. That's all there is to it. It continues. Baba has got yoga sanskaras. He also has likes, dislikes, all those things, just like perfect human being. But Baba also has universal mind. Baba can experience everyone's mind simultaneously. How is it possible? Is only possible when we experience that, how it is. We have ordinary sanskaras. Sanskaras are all created by identifying with this body. We have individual mind that focuses on the self and the physical body. Weaknesses. We just talked about Baba being perfect, and does he have any weaknesses? If we question that, and Baba said, yes, as an avatar, in every advent, he exhibits one weakness. Why he exhibits, I do not have the information, but that exhibition of weakness probably helps to continue with this Maya. And also, there are people, who have seen Meher Baba. I know at least one person, and he doesn't love Meher Baba now. And he was asked, why don't you love? He did not speak. That's why I don't love him. And those kind of reasons will come in the way. But when the time comes, they have the ability to cross this, whether he talked, whether is there any confusion. I think because of that, that's my own analysis, but it may be wrong. I'm sure people like Nageswara Garu or Raghupati Garu, they will have more understanding about this. So what are the other avatars' weaknesses? This is always my question, so I looked it up. And Zoroaster, he lived in Iran, and I do not know whether this is correct or not, but this is what I found in the internet, BC. And Baba mentioned that he killed them. He kills the man who killed him. I didn't quite understand this. When somebody killed Zoroaster, how did he kill? Then suddenly I was talking to my daughter, and we happened to see the recent last year one Chiranjeevi's movie, and some of you might have seen that. I forgot the name, Saira something. The last scene is his head is chopped off, and the body goes and kills the person who kills him. And that experience made me think, oh, that must have happened to Zoroaster. If we go to the next slide, we all know Rama was sent to forest for 14 years. And he himself, actually, even though the story says something else, but he himself exiled himself to spend the 14 years. And also, we also know Sita, when she came back from Lanka, and the washerman commented, Rama sent the Sita to the forest just to give satisfaction. This is a weakness he exhibited during the Rama's time. Krishna showed Visvarupa not only on the Bhagavad Gita time, but also 2 other times, total 3 times Krishna showed the Visvarupa. How did this affect us? I'm not sure. Buddha explained on the nirvana. The nirvana is the elimination of all the sanskaras. That is kind of intermittent state between the human being state and the nirvikalpa state, that is the God realization state. Before we get God realization, when all the sanskaras are finished, the person reaches this nirvana state. And he stopped there, but he never explained the final state. Because of that, a lot of Buddhists, they don't believe in God realization. They just believe in nirvana state. Christ stated on the cross, "Oh Father, why have you forsaken me?" That means he's identifying himself to be a human being. He's asking the God, the unmanifest form of the God, why have you forsaken me? Muhammad always claimed he was the messenger of God. And he never claimed that he was God or he was avatar. I think at that time, people were not in a position to accept. If he said that he's God, they would kill him. Something like that. The extreme thought process was going on. So his job was to do avataric work. He came, he did it, he gave some information. There are 2 kinds of knowledge I believe every avatar gives. One is the general knowledge that is acceptable for all the people, general people. And there are always very intelligent people who are very curious to know a lot more secrets about spiritual secrets. He explained a lot of secrets through his son-in-law and cousin, and that is Sufism oriented. And a lot of Hindu scriptures, Hindu terminology Most of you must have read in the God Speaks. They're equivalent terminology in the Sufism also. So what is the weakness of Meher Baba? Right? We are curious to know. So when asked, Baba said, this is what I heard, that even if I tell you now, you may not be in a state of understanding, but I will reveal this in my next advent. That's what he said. So that's about all his weaknesses. But why Meher Baba? One of the things why Meher Baba is, Baba lived in the present times. He is a man, he lived in our times. He was born in 1894 and he did his avataric work till 1969, January 31st. He wore simple clothes that we can identify, very simple clothes. Before Meher Baba, if you had asked me, what is Krishna? I used to say, N.T. Ramarao is my Krishna. That's what the movies I used to see, and N.T. Ramarao always played Krishna, and he had a lot of ornaments and the crowns, kiritam, and all these things, and well decorated. That's what I thought. And then Venkateswara Swami, I never felt any spirituality with Venkateswara Swami. Whenever I go there, his face was dark black rock, and he was decorated with a lot of jewelry. But whereas Meher Baba, he had simple clothes. He spoke simple language that we can understand. If you want to read any of the Vedic scriptures, they're all in the language of Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is not easy to learn, very, very difficult, leave alone chanting and pronouncing. But to understand and to learn, I tried to learn, but it was very, very difficult, and I didn't have enough time to read that. He wrote many books in a very simple English that anybody can understand this. We can see his photos, we can see his movies. We know people who met him in person, and we know people who met him also. We have this interaction. So we have a lot of affinity in understanding this Meher Baba as an avatar. He was angry, happy, he was sad, he suffered a lot. We know all this information. He enjoyed good jokes. He played games, he played tennis, he played cricket, and he played marbles, like that. One more aspect, apart from feeling familiar, because Baba lived in the present time, is if you hear Meher Baba, if you see his videos, you will not miss that he maintained silence. He started in 1925. At the age of 32, he started the silence. And he did not break, as far as we know, he did not break. Although Brother Urich used to say, he said Om at one point, and that is the breaking of silence. Baba mentioned a number of times he was going to break the silence, and we all are going to hear the word, what he said. But I like this saying, things that are real are given and received in silence, Meher Baba. But what can we take from that? Baba maintained silence, and he had his own reasons why he gave. I'm sure when you heard talks from people that why he maintained silence, but how does that silence apply to us? And this silence was never mentioned anywhere. There was mention of silence, but no other avatar in the past maintained silence this prominently. So if it comes to silence, how does it come to me? How does it help to me? If you observe yourself, how much time in a day do we really keep silence? Morning, the moment we wake up in the morning, our mind starts working. I want to do this, I want to get coffee, I want to go to bathroom, I have to go to this office, and I have to do this work, and then I have to go home, and then what food am I going to eat in between, what entertainment do we have? I want this, I want that. your mind is always active. And we never give a chance for it to just to stand there, not think about anything, keep the mind. We can never do that. It's impossible. But if we can develop that possibility, we can understand what is this silence. That is where Baba comes in. Baba said, "You go, I come." That's what Baba said. And this is something we have to strive to get this silence, and that can be experienced by doing meditation. Or if you think about Meher Baba wholeheartedly, with no other thought, with love, that is as good as silence. I'm sure all of you must have gone to Meherabad. There are times I went there when nobody was there. When I sit inside the tomb, I experience a sort of a silence. I'm sure all of you must have experienced that. But if you go in a Amartidi and all, there are so many thousands of people, it's almost impossible. But you should go after nothing, when nothing was going on, and just sit inside. Last time I went, I happened to go in a severe summer in April, and the outside temperature was 47 degrees. And nobody was there except the person who gives prasad. And every hour or every 2 hours, they were changing. Some other person is coming and doing the duty. And I had a chance to spend time inside the tomb. And outside it was so hot, but inside the temperature was perfect. It was not cold. It was not hot. It was a perfect normal temperature. It's like 22 degrees or something like that. In that temperature, when you sit, the heat doesn't bother you, or coldness doesn't bother you. You can really focus on Baba. I had a chance to spend about 4 hours to experience that silence. And that is something that I encourage, that you should go when nobody is there and experience that silence. That's what we need. What else Baba said? Baba talked about sanskaras. Sanskaras are nothing but impressions. Impressions we get from experiences. If you look at the Hindu scriptures, not many places the sanskaras are mentioned. It was mentioned briefly in some Purana. I forgot what Purana it is. Vasanas are mentioned, tendencies. But Baba gave very clarity on the sanskaras. A lot of times we have questions. Suppose I experienced 1 month of not good health, or let's say I impressed depression. Mentally, I'm depressed. How many people commit suicide, unable to withstand this depression? Whereas if we have this knowledge of Baba's knowledge, sanskaras, we would know, oh, okay, I have done something wrong in my past that is causing this depression. Once all these sanskaras are spent, I'll be fine. We get that confidence. So that's how these sanskaras are helpful for us. Sanskaras are nothing but just like a computer data. In the computers, we have different softwares. We have the same data in our body is like a computer, keyboard and screen and memory. And this data is our experiences. The cook has got a lot of experiences of cooking sanskaras. A computer scientist has got computer science sanskaras. A doctor has those sanskaras that are related to curing the people. A singer has got the singing sanskaras. So every action that we do, we create these sanskaras. And because of the Baba gave us this information, we are very happy to understand. Another work Baba did was must work. The must information is never there in our Hindu scriptures. It is not there in Christianity as far as I know. In Islam, It is there. It is there. But how much explained, it is explained in Sufism part of the Muslim. How much it is explained, I do not know. I have to find out. But it was briefly explained. But Baba spent a lot of time traveling, lot of distances, contacting these people. And what he did by contacting them was they're all stuck in different planes. And he helped them to elevate to a higher states. And he helped all these masks, he helped us. And that's one of the duty as an avatar, to help us to go to the high, because we are stuck in our own conditions. And another thing that Baba in this Advent brought love. Baba, if you take any book about Baba, what he spoke, there's umpty number of situation, love me, love me, love me. That's all he would say. That is so simple to love Baba. He didn't ask us to stand us in one leg and or do some yajna donating 1,000 cows or Aswamedha Yagam. All these things used to be there. He never told us. All he told us to love him. It is so simple. But what is the problem for us? Even that also we have a problem to love. And he made all the Vedic knowledge in a very simplistic way. There's so much of knowledge in the Vedas, spiritual knowledge. But how many people have the access for that? Not many people. People who are very fortunate, they had the access to the books and they have access to the Guru, and the Guru would explain. That's how they understand. How many people we have? And he emphasized on love. And when we pursue love, all this Vedic knowledge becomes easy for us to understand if we come across. He provided all those tools so that people's intelligence is reached to a higher level. If some people are, some of us who are older in age, if we go back to our young age, we don't have any technology. We don't have television, we don't have internet, we don't have computer. All we had was radio. That is the entertainment. And we have movies. We used to go. And the knowledge what we had was very limited. Our parents also, lot limited. Whereas if you look at this present generation, they're a lot more intelligent. I'm sure every one of you noticed that. That's not because we are born smarter, but it is the Baba who created this, uplifted all of us to a higher level of intelligence. He advanced the scientific growth. If you look at the previous advance, how many inventions were there? During Krishna time, Rama time, there were practically almost nothing compared to the inventions we had. How many inventions were there from the beginning of this century during 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s? All the physics and chemistry inventions happened during this time. And let's take, for example, Newton. Newton came out with the laws, or Albert Einstein came out with that energy equation, E is equal to mc square. You think he worked hard to come up with this equation? I'm sure he's probably qualified to invent this E is equal to mc square, but he must have got a thought. Just like how I was telling, I created this PowerPoint presentation just as though Baba was giving me a thought. Just like that, I'm sure Einstein must have gotten a thought just out of blue. That's how they made all these inventions. Even though we say we attribute to each individuals, Max Muller and Planck and Einstein, Newton, all these scientists, they must have gotten thoughts. The thoughts were given by the God. So he made sure he advanced the technology, our intelligence level, to a higher level. And now Baba gave us the God Speaks. God Speaks has all the details from beginning to the end. Is advanced information which was never revealed in the past in any of the previous avatars. Nowhere in the ancient Vedic scriptures the evolution was talked about. And Darwin's theory is there, but Baba said, I think because of his hard work, he created that. But because there is no reincarnation concept inserted in that thing, he could not explain everything. A single concept of reincarnation would make all the sense that how each form transforms into another form by leaving the body. Before that, I was explaining body is an inert. It doesn't have anything, but the mind survives all along. The mind leaves the body, the soul leaves the body and takes up an appropriate body. And once we take up the body, with the time, it ages. When it ages, one time, it has to leave the body and take up a new body. That's how the evolution happens. This is the most intelligent picture that anybody could do. And because of his infinite intelligence, he explained in this pictorial form the whole God Speaks. If you see this closely, and if you read God Speaks, you can understand. The whole God Speaks is explained here. And Baba wrote another book with his own hand, and it was hidden somewhere. When the appropriate time comes, that will be released. When the book was lost, they asked Baba, Baba, where is the book? Baba said, don't worry, it is there. I'm sure it is somewhere there. It will come out at appropriate time. But Baba said, don't worry about the book. I gave all that information. 90% of that book is given in God Speaks, and 10% of that book is given in the Bhava culture is nothing and everything. The purpose of Baba's coming as an avatar is, as avatars work, he gives a spiritual push to the humanity. And one of the most important tasks he takes up is to wipe out those samskaras that cause suffering to the humanity. And Baba said, once he breaks his silence, the power is so much, 3/4 of the world will be vanished. When I heard this, I thought all the people, 3/4 of the world will be killed. But later on, I understood he is going to wipe out the sanskaras that we created due to ignorance. Why do we create bad sanskaras? Not that we want to do it, but because of the ignorance. When the ignorance comes, we are we are totally ignorant. Our journey is to become perfect. During this learning process, we make mistakes. When we do mistakes, sometimes the suffering, because of these mistakes, the suffering becomes unbearable. Because of that, Baba had to take that suffering on to himself. And if he takes 99%, we have to do 1% of suffering. That is what he said. And wiping of the sanskaras. Some of you might have seen Alaba, Ali Akbar Super Zaman. He is from Iran. Right from the childhood, he went to Baba's school. Initially, he started, and he became a Baba lover, Baba Mandali. And one time he was telling that Baba said, when he breaks the silence, my Baba passed on, and then he said, Baba finished all the work, and he has taken the match stick out of the box, and he's ready to strike any time to create a fire. And this fire will wipe out all the world, 3/4 of the world. When he said this, I thought it didn't make sense to me. He's Alaba, if you remember, very funny man. He's like an army man, very strict about following, and a very interesting personality. What happened in 1989? Mehra passed away, and some other people passed on. After that, immediately, the whole USSR collapsed. Soviet Union collapsed. Before Soviet Union collapsed, there was a lot of Cold War was going on, and during the Cold War, a lot of problems were there. And because of this collapse, a lot of the Western world changed a lot. A lot of countries have been formed. Ukraine and Moldovan, Azerbaijan, all these things used to be under Soviet Union. They all formed into different countries. We in India probably did not experience much about this. Uh, Next phase of sanskaras that happened during the September 11th, 2001, when the New York Twin Towers were collapsed by terrorists by hitting these towers. All these two towers collapsed, and then within 2 days, America went on war with Afghanistan, and that war continued for a long time. And the whole America changed, the whole lot of world changed, and this change happened because of the Baba's work. We think this terrorist did this or somebody did this. We have all these reasons. We have to find out. We find out, but actual fact is, all these actions created wiping out of the sanskaras, and that's for a good purpose to elevate our level and to wipe out our sufferings. Next, what's happening in February 2020? Coronavirus. The whole world is changing. We are all experiencing now. We are at home. This coronavirus is changing our habits. This is not going to end by April 15th or April 30th. This is not going to end by May 15th. This is going to take a long time, and until the vaccine is created, until the COVID virus is completely eliminated. Because how did it start? It started somewhere. And few people came from China to America, and they created this. They spread this. They did not know they're spreading this. People were dying in thousands all over the world. And if you turn on the CNN in New York, it's unbearable. I think we get a lot more news than you are getting it. People are not able to breathe, and they take them there. And these nurses, these doctors are working continuously. They just go to the corner when they have to sleep, they just sleep. And then they wake up and they try to help them. There's so many people are suffering like anything. For example, this breath, we just take it for granted. We take a breath and we don't even think about, I took a breath, how much comfort we get from the breath. But these people who are suffering, to take even a single breath, it's so difficult for them. That's why they want these machines to help them to breathe. A lot of suffering. It's very depressing to watch. We want to know what's going on with the coronavirus. We keep watching this news. All these things that are happening depresses us very much. Then what is the way out? For us, beloved Baba is there. And Baba said, whoever holds on to my Daman, they will be protected. See that confidence Baba gave. Don't worry about believing yourself. I don't believe myself. I act based on my sanskaras, how they come up. I may be consistent now, and tomorrow I might have done something in the past that makes me act like a crazy. I can go crazy. I don't have trust anything by myself. We can trust Baba. When he said this, he will do this. Only thing we have to do is to hold on to him, Daman. And why is he creating all this COVID virus and all these things? Because he wants to give a spiritual push. He created this world. This world is created by him. So it is his responsibility to make sure that everybody is doing okay. That is why, because of ignorance, we create our own suffering, and he has to take care of it. And the ultimate result is we're going to be advanced in our paths. Because of this avataric age, we get benefited in the next 100 years. The date started in 1969 at 12:15 on January 31st. We already crossed 50 years. We have 50 more years that we can take advantage of the power, higher power. Those people who do not take advantage of that, they have to go to different planes, and it's like this, going to America by walk versus taking a jet plane. If you take a rescue of Baba or any form of God, you are going to be in jet. Go to America within few hours. Otherwise, you will be walking through all these forests and trenches and all these places. It's very important to a spiritual practice to know who we are. I explained to you about the body and why we should know about ourselves. We have to know who we are. That plays a major role. Otherwise, whatever we think we project, if I like wankai kura, then I say, hey, Baba said wankai kura is very good for you. Eat, everybody eat. That's what I do. Not that I want to lie, but that is the tendency we have. Our mind projects like that. And some people say, pray to only Baba, don't pray to Krishna. That's what I want. I'm praying Baba, but I try to enforce this on others. Don't pray to Krishna, or don't pray to Christ. No, don't pray to Islam. That's what we do. That's because of our domination of our ego. That's why we have to know who we are. That helps us to keep us in control. Then only we'll be able to love Baba as he ought to be loved. How do we love God? How to love God? Baba gave beautiful few points, and we should read that along with the Parvardigar prayer, repentance prayer, and Beloved God prayer. Every day we should read that. If we read it every day, it will get into your system. When it is getting into our system, we try to adopt it unknowingly. Simple thing is to remember him wholeheartedly and constantly. Constantly means all the time, whatever we do. You can have various practices. You can have, I want to every day, I want to say 100 times Baba. Try to have that number. Or some people have even every hour on the spot, I'll put a ring to my phone. When the ring comes, I'll remember Baba. Something like that. We have to have some sort of a sadhana to remember Baba constantly. Divine love is what we need for our progress. Involve Baba in every action you do. This is what Baba said. Involve me in everything. Try to see Baba in every entity, everything, every person. You will change. I can guarantee that. I need to do this too. Do everything to please beloved Baba. We go to work and we think we are earning money and I can get the money and get the food, eat and survive the family. Baba provides for everyone. Baba provides food. We don't have to worry about our needs. Once you are hanging on to Baba, he will provide everything for us. That's all I can say. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba sir, it was a nice presentation.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Now Brother Kashi will give translation in Telugu. Kashi, please unmute yourself. Jai Baba Kashi, please unmute yourself and...
Jai Baba, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
ఇప్పుడు మన రవి గారు అమెరికా నుంచి ఇచ్చిన ప్రసంగాన్ని నేను తెలుగులో అనువదించడం జరుగుతుంది. మొట్టమొదటిగా బాబాకు కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలుపుతూ తన ప్రసంగాన్ని స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఈ ప్రజెంటేషన్ చేయడం వెనుక ఏం జరిగింది అనేది వివరించారు. ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో అక్కడ బాబా జన్మదినోత్సవంలో భాగంగా ఒకరు రవి గారిని ఆహ్వానించడం జరుగుతుంది. అది సాయంత్రము జన్మదిన ప్రోగ్రాం ఉంటుంది. రోజులో తన ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్ళేటప్పుడు కారులో ఒక ఆలోచన వస్తుంది, ఒక బాబా ప్రజెంటేషన్ చేయమని. అప్పుడు తనకు వస్తుంది, నేను ఎలా ప్రజెంటేషన్ చేస్తాను, నాకు ప్రజెంటేషన్ రాదు అని అనుకుంటారు. అలా ఆలోచన వస్తుంది, అక్కడ ముగుస్తుంది. ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్తారు, ఆఫీస్లో బిజీగా ఉంటుంది. ఆల్ ఆఫ్ ఏ సడన్ ఒక ఆలోచన వచ్చి ల్యాప్టాప్ తీయడం జరుగుతుంది, ఆ ప్రజెంటేషన్ స్టార్ట్ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. అప్పుడు ఇంకొక మాట వినపడుతుంది. ఆ ప్రజెంటేషన్ యొక్క పేరు ఏంటి అంటే ఎందుకు మేయర్ బాబా అనేది కూడా అలా వస్తుంది. అలా ఆ ప్రజెంటేషన్ యొక్క టైటిల్ రావటంతో పాటు ఒక సహజ సిద్ధంగా ఎవరో ఒకరు వెనుక నుంచి ఒక మార్గదర్శకత్వం చేస్తూ ఈ ప్రజెంటేషన్ అంతా కూడా ప్రిపేర్ చేయడం జరిగింది. ఇలా ప్రజెంటేషన్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆ రోజు సాయంత్రం అక్కడ ఉన్న మేయర్ బాబా ప్రేమికుడు మేయర్ చరణ్ అనే వారి ఇంట్లో ఆ జన్మదినోత్సవాలు వెళ్ళడం జరుగుతుంది. జన్మదినోత్సవంలో భాగంగా భజన్స్, తర్వాత భోజనాలు